BaconBit puddin.
That was adorable.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
But could you take that eyeshadow off real quick?
I'm emancipated now.
Did you have a fantabulous emancipation?
Fantabulous emancipation of me.
Everyone, the reason we're speaking like this is we're about to do a review of Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of one Harley Quinn. Did I get that right?
Is it and between it, or is it just Birds of Prey colon or?
I know there's something about their colon.
Joel's checking. He's fact checking.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
We got the full title. Other people have no idea what we're talking about
Unless we spell it.
unless we spell it
Just
out
like
for
they
us.
saw on the
newest-
title of the episode.
You're right. It's and Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous
I knew
Emancipation
it.
of one Harley Quinn.
So this is the newest DC movie. But before we get to that, we've got Emily here in the Bacon Cave.
Back.
Puddin?
We kept you here for 2 days in the Bacon Cave.
Yeah, the baby actually was a false alarm.
Oh,
so.
good.
Maybe by the end of this
months
show.
pregnant now.
Welcome back, Emily. We're happy to have you here.
Thank you.
And Emily, actually, you know how Kent never invites Jacob and I to screenings anymore?
Of course.
Because he's taking Emily.
Oh, yeah, makes sense.
Are you trying to make us feel bad? Like, what's going on? We're friends. We got this.
Sundance snobs.
Hey, did you guys want to come see the R-rated Harley Quinn movie?
No, thank you.
This was probably the first screening I've been to in years with Kent, so don't be too jealous.
Oh my gosh. Hey, I'm glad you came, Emily. Thanks for throwing me under the bus.
Emily, that's way more recently than we've gone, so that's still pretty
okay.
good. Yeah, we're still jealous.
I'm trying to think. When's the last one Jake came to?
Oh, gosh,
I
it's
think
been a
World
while.
War Z. I'm joking.
That was, I think, the second one I went to. Actually.
Yeah. All right, but we do want to give a quick review. And you guys, I'm going to let you two decide, not the one listener, but
Okay.
you two here,
All right,
Jake
I'm
and
ready.
Joel.
I'm ready.
If you do want spoilers, because we can go full spoiler fee and free.
I want to pay for these spoilers.
Or if you want spoilers, we'll throw them in at the end.
Well, let's hear the non-spoiler,
Yeah.
of course, and then let's see if
Okay.
the appetite is
So
whetted.
the synopsis is as follows. After splitting with the Joker, Harley Quinn joins superheroes Black Canary, Huntress, and Renee Montoya to save a young girl from an evil crime lord. And it's directed by Kathy Yan, and stars Margot Robbie, Rosie Perez, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Journey Smollett-Bell, I believe,
So not a real strong hook for this.
Ewan McGregor.
and Ewan McGregor. Yes, and Ewan
Christmas
McGregor for sure.
Obi-Wan?
Obi-Wan.
Ewan McGregor plays Black Mask, a very
Is he a bad guy?
He's like a C-list Batman villain. Like, I like Black Mask. He's in the Arkham games if you played that.
Yeah.
And it's a cool villain. Ewan McGregor, does that, which is surprising to see him in this kind of movie, in this
Yeah,
kind
you never
of
really
role.
see him as a villain.
No, not really. But
Captain Marvel.
What?
wait, Ewan McGregor?
Ewan McGregor?
Jude Law.
Jude Law. I got it mixed up.
Spoiler alert.
Like, I do
Totally
not
got it mixed
remember
up.
that.
You racist.
Those white guys all look the
Getting your
same.
British, Scottish,
Anglo-Saxons.
Yeah, it
white
was
guys
Jude Law.
mixed up.
That's funny.
So, Emily, do you want to get us started on the reviews and we'll kind of jump back and forth?
Yeah, reviews. Okay, so lately it seems like with DC movies, people have these kind of preconceived notions going into them, and there's these camps where there's all these people that are like, this looks so terrible, like this just looks the worst, and then there's other people like, no, this is gonna be the best, this is gonna be the best.
And this one, no one's talking about at all.
No, I've seen
really?
seen it. Yeah,
Is there hype for this? I haven't
least
seen
on-
anything.
Film Twitter likes
Yeah,
to talk
I
about
live on
everything.
film Twitter,
Okay.
unfortunately, and so like I'm seeing. Like, there was early reviews that were pouring in, raving about it. Because before that, I think everyone's expectations were pretty low.
After the trailers.
After the trailers, no
Sure.
one was, like, super excited. So there's I see a lot of people hating, and then I see a lot of people being like, this is the best. So, like, with those, I feel like I'm kind of a Jake of this episode, where I'm just like,
Okay.
If you like it, it's
Well, no.
good. If you don't like it, it's bad.
like,
Jacob's the Paul Rudd of Baconsale?
Yes.
absolutely.
That's a movie. I like movies.
Yeah.
Movies are good. You like movies? I like movies.
So with those, like, I just think that it doesn't really warrant a really strong reaction either way. Like, I think, so one thing that I'd heard, though, in the production was that they went and did a bunch of reshoots with the John Wick
Yes.
stunt person. I don't know. And so
He's the director of John Wick, and he did...
Was the director? Or was
yeah.
I thought it was just like someone who did the action scenes. And it totally shows. Like,
The action scenes are solid.
scenes are solid. There's like, well, there's maybe not every single one, but there's certain sequences that it's like, this is really fun and super entertaining and like really extreme, but
Yeah.
like really cool.
This is rated R.
How R is it?
So there isn't...
There's some violence.
There's language.
Yeah, lots of language.
No nudity. Although I could be wrong, I'm very desensitized.
Nude artwork around.
There's a
would
lot
forget.
there's headshots, mostly with arrows, but mostly it's bones breaking. You see
Yeah, a lot of that.
limbs snap in ways that you should not see.
Wow.
And it hurts. Those are the moments where I go,
some masking of people's faces.
oh yeah, there is some face cutting as well.
Yeah.
So this one does earn its R rating, and it's
Yeah.
definitely going for and I'm sorry for the reference, but it is a pseudo sequel. It's similar to a Suicide Squad as far as like what it's trying to pull off, but it earns the R
a
rating
lot better.
there. Done much better.
But it's unusual for a sequel to kind of jump a rating either way. Like if you have an R-rated movie to a PG-13 sequel or a PG-13 movie to R-rated sequel,
It's a risk for sure.
there's a tonal shift there. It's just
There
like,
is.
yeah.
Well, it is kind of weird because it's like she wasn't dropping F-bombs like crazy in the first movie.
Well,
but
she had a collar on before.
yeah.
Blow
Oh,
up her
yeah.
head if
Now
she
she's
got an F-bomb.
emancipated.
Is that what you have too? You say family friendly? Actually, did you put the collar on me?
I did.
But yeah, she's emancipated now, so she can say all those F-bombs. But yeah, so like I thought the action was really, really fun. But otherwise, like, and I thought she's clearly having fun with the role, and she's great.
Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
But there's almost so much of her, which is fine because she's honestly like a highlight. There's so much of her, and then there's not enough of anyone
Would
else.
you agree this should be called Harley Quinn?
Yeah.
And also the Dawn of Birds of Prey?
Yeah, yeah.
It kind of is.
They're hardly there, and especially like Mary Elizabeth Winstead feels like she's in a completely different movie. Honestly,
Although I really did like her
I
character.
liked her too, and
Yeah.
I wanted more of her. I wanted more of Ewan. I wanted more of a lot of people.
I bet
Black
you did.
Canary didn't really do it for me, but like I don't know. I just felt like there was so much of her, and she was great, but like kind of skimmed the surface with like everyone else. But you know, it was entertaining. I like that DC is kind of having fun with things and not going
and
in
making
one.
radically different movies every
radically
single
different
time. Because there's
movie.
Shazam, which is like,
Right.
hey, it's big, but
And
with superheroes.
Joker,
Then
really dark.
Joker, which you have
Now
to
they're
say
just
in
like,
that tone.
we give up. We'll just try
Joker.
anything.
Birds of Prey.
Let's just see
And
what
it's
happens.
worked. It's 3 for 3.
Well, it's
at
better
this
like
point.
that.
They each have their own distinct flavor and voice, and it's cool. Like it's cool that they're not all the same. And so
3
like
for 3.
Yeah, what's
Yeah.
the
Are you saying this
three?
is a 3?
Am I 3 out of 5?
Did you just play your hand? This is the 3. The
He
3
did.
of 3.
He did.
No, I'm saying if you look at general critic reviews, they are loving on this movie. Too much, I would say.
Yeah, I
but
would
people
agree.
are loving
Okay.
on this movie.
yeah, I wouldn't say like this is just groundbreaking, amazing.
No.
but it's fun. Like it's fun. I'm not like super into it either way. Like I
Yeah.
don't like have a ton of hate. I don't have a ton of love, but like the action sequences were really cool. And
Well,
Emily,
listen, female Jake, I'm gonna. You would say something like this. In fact, Jake will say this at the end of the year. He'll say, "Birds of Prey came out this year,"
Yeah.
because it's one of those movies,
Yeah.
where you're like, "Oh, that was good. That was good for what it was." That came out in 2020. I thought it was a couple of years ago.
So it's dated immediately.
Not dated because
Or
it
just
really
that
does have the
forgettable.
necessary energy. It's just going to be forgotten after many great movies come out this year.
yeah,
Knock on
for
wood.
sure. But I thought the storytelling of it was really fun. It was almost kind of told in like a Scott Pilgrim versus the World kind of way, where there's like kind of like flashcards of people being brought up and like rewinding and different point of views and like kind of
It feels like they were like watching Suicide Squad. They're like, that didn't work. Oh, soundtrack didn't work.
Yeah.
Character intros didn't work. Okay, that character didn't work. That humor didn't work. Let's fix that.
Yeah.
And they
Like
did.
mid-movie?
Yeah, that's-
Who was director?
Or
Well,
of
that's
the
what
started.
Suicide Squad
yeah.
tried.
Right.
But this one, the whole way through, is they're just going, hey, this is really how you introduce someone. This is how you write Harley Quinn. Because this is straight up her movie.
Yeah,
And
for
she
sure.
excels as Harley Quinn. Margot Robbie does. And I wish the same as you. I wish it were a Birds of Prey movie. But it really is more like, hey, this is how the gang got together.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's a very simple story. This is a story about finding a diamond. That's it.
Yeah, it was a lot more simple.
No
than I thought it
Skybeam,
would
no
be.
Enchantress.
I thought this was a
Well,
story
I-
about a girl going through a breakup and finding her
There is
emancipation.
That's the origin.
But
a diamond.
I was kind of
Yeah.
expecting more of almost like a Guardians of the Galaxy where they
Thank
kind of come
goodness.
through. Yeah, thank goodness. But I was expecting that where they kind of come together.
And there's a golden
midway
blanket of
through.
ships at the
Yeah,
end.
but it's
You love that movie.
hate it so much.
but it wasn't. It was kind of like it was her movie, and then until like maybe like the second to last scene.
See, I felt like there was an adequate amount of scenes with Ewan McGregor. He was chewing the scenery.
He was.
And having
But I just love him
the
so much. I want
best
more.
time.
I mean
Of
Jude
course.
Law. I think you mean Jude Law.
Yeah, Jude Law is what I meant to say.
How dare you?
He was fantastic. This is the villain is of no consequence.
Wait. Who's the director?
Kathy Yan.
What has she
Who's
done?
that?
By
She
the way?
has done.
But she knew what she was doing to some degree, apparently.
She's done a movie called Dead Pigs and a few shorts.
Dead
But we do
pigs.
have James Gunn doing Suicide Squad 2 still, right?
Yeah.
Are they going to get Harley Quinn back for that?
Yes, she'll be back in that one.
Oh, that's right.
I would almost totally agree with you on the fact that the action is the saving grace of this movie. I'm glad we didn't see the original cut if it didn't have this action because it brings it from average to slightly above average.
Yeah.
Like,
So that's where we're at? Slightly above average?
Actually, even above average, because the action scenes, it uses the environment in such clever ways, and it makes the fights believable. It makes Harley, who is probably 90 pounds soaking wet, kick butt in ways that, like, all immediate cut. I mean, almost few cuts, I should say. That doesn't seem like it's a stunt double or anything. It makes it look like she's really taken everyone to town in this movie. And yeah, the environments are great. It's really violent, and it's so much fun to watch. I wish there was 10 more minutes.
So great to watch.
I wish there were 10 more minutes of fighting in this movie.
And I totally agree. And
How long is the movie?
An hour and 46 minutes.
That's not bad.
Yeah,
that's a movie like this should be.
It's so fast paced that you can't even be like, oh, I'm bored. Like, or there's some cringeworthy lines, but you can't even focus on them because the plot just keeps happening.
I was gonna say, I think that you can almost only count like female action stars on one hand of like who's actually believable. You know what I mean? Like maybe Scarlett Johansson, Charlize Theron, Gal Gadot, and now like honestly, her scenes were really great, and she did a really good job in it. And it was like, okay,
everyone in this movie except for Rosie Perez, really believable and fun to watch.
Bro, it's like, why is she in this?
She shouldn't be.
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember who that is. I knew who that.
White man can't jump.
It could happen to you.
What?
I love that you brought up it could happen to you. Yeah, Nicolas Cage. And what's her name? Bridget Fonda.
Wait, you just brought a Bridget Fonda on the girls.
She brought up It Could Happen to You, which is one of my favorite movies, except for Rosie Perez.
So you hate really funny in that.
You hate a third of it.
Wait, who was she? Who was Rosie Perez?
She was Renee Montoya. So it is
Renee Montoya,
a character established in the Dark Knight and Batman animated series. And speaking of, the end of this movie felt, except for the violence, felt so much like Batman the animated series that I was sold. It takes place on Amusement Mile, which
was really cool.
It's totally set up. It feels like Tim Burton Batman a little bit where they're at, and it's so moody and misty, and it's fantastic. I would say that.
Have you guys given your grades?
No. The trailers, if they've turned you off because they're straight bubble gum and cotton candy, the movie's not that annoying.
You do remember, Kent, this is one of my movies I predicted that I wanted to flop.
I don't think you're going to care for this very much, Joel, because it's in your face, and it is...
I like things in my face.
There's actually
Try this.
dedication to an egg sandwich in this movie.
That was
which
my favorite
looks
part.
like the best eggs. Maybe it's because I'm on a diet, but this Egg McMuffin they make.
I think this is a spoiler.
It is the best looking Egg McMuffin I've ever seen in my life, and I want it bad. And there's like 10 minutes dedicated to it.
And I don't like that. Why would I not like that?
I don't know.
You see her like looking at it lovingly, and I felt that, especially as a
There's a
pregnant woman.
chase where
like,
she is trying to eat this thing, and everyone's chasing her, trying to kill her now that she's not with the Joker, and all she's trying to do is
Spoiler
save
alert.
and eat her sandwich. Now that's all I'm going to say. And I'm like, let her eat it. It's delicious.
I know. We were just like, please, it looks so good.
That's random.
It starts off as a cartoon, a literal cartoon, as we introduce Harley, and then it feels like a cartoon, and then you meet more people, and the villain, played by Ewan McGregor, is so much fun to watch. So, Emily, what would be your grade on this one?
So since I do numbers, I guess I would go for a 7 out of 10. Which is, I guess, like a...
What'd you give Suicide Squad? Do you remember?
Probably like a 6 or a 5. I
So
don't know.
this is a little above Suicide Squad.
I think it's a definite improvement above Suicide Squad, but it's not like...
Academy Award winning Suicide Squad.
yeah. Let's
Show
keep
some
that in there.
respect.
But it's not... I mean... I really liked Wonder Woman. I wouldn't say it's like Wonder Woman. I wouldn't say
heavens,
it's, you
no.
know, but
No.
like it was entertaining and fun. But I'm not going to be thinking about it months from now. Like
No,
said,
you won't.
So.
And it was a C+ without the action because it's fun and it's fast paced, and I like the style. And with the fighting, it becomes a B- for me.
Yeah.
So it's a B-.
Yeah, it's a B-.
Because they're not going to release a non-fighting edition.
No, I hope it's just a fighting edition.
Yeah,
It's almost like
non-fighting
What grade
edition.
is it without all the cursing? And then
I would have
bone
liked it
breaking.
better a little bit, honestly.
if it were just PG-13.
Yeah, I think it could have been.
I don't know.
It sounded like
the
it didn't need to
action-
be
With the
other
leg
than the
snaps in
violence
this
a little
movie.
bit.
But I mean,
There-
you could
there
do
was a
leg
lot of
snaps in
violence.
PG-13 movies.
Not
Just
like
don't
this.
show
There
bone
was
poking out.
pretty bad.
Oh, yeah, that's true. It doesn't show bones poking out.
But it was... You could hit those sound effects of it. You're just
Oh,
like,
it's so
"Ooh."
good. It felt like it was
Sound effects to make something
It
rated R?
felt like
Yeah.
you were watching Mortal Kombat, the movie, but like the new games where they
the
get
new
really
ones.
extreme.
That does get pretty graphic on the new ones.
Yeah, so I was pleasantly surprised by this because I went in going, meh. And yeah, walked out impressed with Margot Robbie and the violence. So that's all I need.
Just not violence against Margot Robbie.
All right.
Oh, heavens.
Joel, do you still want spoilers?
Do I need spoilers?
I don't
think so.
Is there anything, is there anything you want to say that you
There's-
had to say?
There's a couple things that I would say, but you don't need
We can
to
talk
hear
off
them.
air if you want.
Yeah, we'll talk off air.
Okay.
Because it's not like you need it for the review.
Let me just be vague about one thing? There was like someone had a certain power that they kind of just like at the very end unleash that power, and it's like, well, maybe you should have done that earlier on in all of your fight scenes. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure, and I'm going to speak in family-friendly terms here. I'm pretty sure in the trailer there was a scene where she got kind of a good fighting ability from a white powder she runs into in a warehouse.
So that was a mislead. It was a red herring. Like
Okay.
she was already fighting well, and then that happened. She basically smiles and then basically makes everyone else ingest this powder.
Okay.
I'm trying to play your game. Sorry, my neck collar. My neck collar might have exploded.
He was buzzing. Yeah.
I was worried about that as well, that drugs would give her a secret power.
Yeah.
But no, that's only
That's not
explored
what I
as a
was
joke.
referring to.
There was a scene where she has a Harley Quinn sequence. Like it jumps inside her mind and you see her singing a song. It's
Oh,
the
yeah.
Marilyn Monroe scene.
That was totally unnecessary.
Did not need to be in the
that
movie.
That was literally Margot Robbie being like, "Can we find a way to dress me as Marilyn Monroe in the movie? Because I really want to do
Like, cut
a
that
take
out.
on Gentlemen Prefer Blondes."
And I think people forget that Harley Quinn
crazy.
used to be a medical doctor. Like she has this education. Do they play at all of that into the movie? Or
They do, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they use her history, which is cool.
It drives me when people think of Harley Quinn as a bimbo because I'm like, no, she's not a bimbo.
She's actually not.
She's
Yeah.
she's actually very smart, but she's broken.
Yes. And they
And
talk
Mr.
about
J.
it.
Yeah.
And there's a hyena in the movie, and
Yeah.
looked better than probably anything in The
CGI
Lion King.
hyena.
By the way,
Yeah.
hyena?
So here's the thing. I also watched an interview with
the
Margot
heck?
Robbie, and they said that they were talking about the hyena, and she says we actually went to a place. We met a hyena. His name was Fonzie. He was very nice, but we soon learned there was no way that was ever going to happen where I could interact with this hyena because
Yeah.
they're vicious creatures. So
Yeah,
they
it's like
actually-
licking her face in the
But
movie.
they said we didn't want a guy in a suit because that would be awkward. I wish they were. They ended up getting.
He's like, "Sign me up for that role."
They actually ended up getting. They ended up getting a very large dog and then kind of just CGIing the fur to make it look like a hyena. And so it's like kind of this cool. It's an animal. It's just
Yeah.
not.
It was
a
the same
hyena.
dog in that Harrison Ford movie.
Oh, Call of the
coming
Wild.
out.
Oh, man.
But if anyone is listening is a fan of Harley Quinn comics, this matches it really well. Those are very bombastic and just kind of out there.
What if I
and
like Arlene Sorkin, an animated series, Harley Quinn?
still?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's
I don't
closer.
bring F words in the animated series.
Yeah, no, not so much, but it's fun to watch.
You would if Kent had his way.
Got to get this collar off. But yeah, so are you guys surprised that
I'm intrigued.
it's kind of good?
I was at a 0 of interest.
Sure.
0, and now I'm like a 5.
Well, so
Yeah, and I think that's the right level to be at.
They announced-
don't expect to hate, don't expect to love.
Yep.
Right in the middle.
Okay.
when they announced this movie, I was like, I don't know about that. And then they talked about Harley Quinn. I was like, okay, I'm interested now. And then
Yeah.
they showed the trailer, and I went back to not interested.
Yep, that's true.
You guys are bringing it back up. where
The
it's like,
critical
oh, maybe I'll
praise
like
this
it.
is getting though is
It's over the
ridiculous.
top.
Rotten Tomatoes is the worst. Once again, Rotten Tomatoes is the
Well,
worst.
and
Everyone should
Twitter,
know this.
Just everyone like wanting to hype something because I think it was because no one had expectations, but now they're bringing everyone's expectations.
Well, yeah,
up,
they're
so
like,
it's gonna
hey, this
bring it back
didn't
down.
suck.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is wonderful news.
Exactly.
Yay.
It's like, this was so great. It's
Yeah,
like, just
and once
keep it
again,
level.
we're in January and February months, so the gentlemen in this movie are they're very fun movies to watch, but it's also January and February.
Yes.
So know
plenty
that
more to come.
Yes,
And this comes out the day of this airs.
yes, it does.
So there you go. There's been a review of Birds of Prey with our friend Emily.
It is the best looking Egg McMuffin I've ever seen in my life.